On our cul-de-sac, there are 8 girls total, and about half of them are wanting to change their identity in some way. And then my daughter's school, she has at least 10 friends going through this. It started with my daughter dabbling with like her sexuality, and it was fine. Our response to it was, you can explore and experience, and you don't have to choose one way or another this moment. This was when we were overseas. By the time we moved back stateside, she had decided that she was feeling more like a male. I had kind of the same response as with her sexuality. Let's explore this, let's sit on this and see how you feel in the near future. She didn't ever show signs of being confused. As little as 3 months before she told us, she was still wearing makeup and wearing skirts and being girly. I emailed her therapist overseas because it caught me off guard that much. I was like, was this a thing? Did I just not see it? And she said no. In her 1.5 years with her, my daughter did not meet any of the criteria or show any signs that she was trans. So she told my husband and I to not change anything, to just keep setting healthy boundaries and showing her love and consistency. School was not happening because of COVID, and we decided to look for a therapist here to figure out, like, hey, what is triggering this drastic change? Well, me and my husband went and sat in on a session, and it was like an attack. She immediately went into telling the school, and I think my exact words to her were like, hey, let's pump the brakes. We're not ready to make these changes. She looked at my daughter and she goes, I can call the school and talk to them for you if you want. And my jaw hit the floor. We felt completely stepped on because we love our daughter so much, and we would never disown her or abandon her for any reason. There's nothing on this planet that could make us do that. And then to have someone treat us like we aren't doing what's good for her when they have known her like 2 months. We've known her whole life. Needless to say, that I think there was like one more session, and then we didn't go back to her. Then school started, and about a month in, we started going downhill again. I talked to her school counselor. I was like, we don't want anything changed within the school. At the time, I thought she was agreeing with me, because at this point, I still thought it's school. Parents are involved. They listen to the parents because they're all minors. It's a government institution. That was wrong. I found her student ID, and it had the preferred name on it, and I was confused. I was like, hey, we didn't want a preferred name on any school documents. And is the yearbook gonna have her real name or her preferred name? I got a call from the school, and they proceeded to tell me I have no say over anything my daughter wants to go by or what's in her record or anything. The only thing I had say over was what her name was on her transcript, but otherwise their wording to me was that it was illegal for me to insist on a certain name or anything. I brought up to him that her therapist, who had treated her in the past, she was 99% certain that this was a phase, and his reply to me was that they don't need a diagnosis to call my daughter whatever she wants to be called. So what does that mean? How do you decide what is a casual declaration and what is not? he said that they watched the kid. I was never told anyone was watching my child, but they observe them and see how they dress and what type of activities they take place in or participate in. And I said, well, that's interesting because my daughter will still wear skirts to school and she'll still wear makeup. So who was observing my child and made this decision without talking to me? It was a rhetorical question. I knew he couldn't answer it. It's hard because I recognize she needs that help. Just the other day, she told me going to school makes her want to throw up. Then she asked yesterday to not go to school at all. Right now in our life, the school is the only place that's affirming her. And so if she's trying to get away because it makes her feel bad, and she wants to be home where we absolutely affirm her as a person, but we don't affirm this identity, to me that speaks of volumes. Girls going through stuff collectively in high school and middle school together and influencing each other is nothing new. Every girl has been through it. But I think what makes this different is that it is becoming a human rights issue, and it's being taken on by adults that don't necessarily play a part in a child's life, and it's being championed by people who don't have children or don't have children dealing with it. I don't think this is who my daughter is. I'm not going to confirm this for her because I still am holding out hope that she can explore and grow and learn and experiment and go through the normal phases that a teenager should go through. It's terrifying that we have medical professionals and government officials supporting this and encouraging it. I don't feel like that's the solution. I feel betrayed because I thought parents in the school were supposed to work together for the well-being of the child, and it doesn't feel like that's happening.